Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. About 1 hour from now, President Trump will deliver his first address before Congress, laying out his vision for the country. No matter what he says, though, some Americans, including many in the press, will oppose. But it doesn't really matter, as economics will determine the success or failure of the Trump administration. The big question tonight, what is the real state of the union? And that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. The economy is getting stronger, but wages are still rather stagnant. A tax cut for working Americans might change that, as consumers would likely increase spending, leading business to expand. The more labor needed in the marketplace, the higher wages will go. If President Trump announces a big expansion of the infrastructure, construction projects, that'll stimulate the market as well. So across-the-board tax cuts and spending on roads, etc., is what is needed right now. Of course, that will drive up the national debt, which we'll get to shortly. On the national security front, the President's committed to building up the military, which is necessary, but must be done methodically. Mr. Trump's essentially correct when he says the USA has squandered about $6 trillion in the Middle East. I mean, what have we achieved there? ISIS and other jihadists still a major threat. Millions of refugees now need care. Iran remains a huge enemy. Iraq and Afghanistan are chaotic. Two presidents tried and failed to bring stability to the Middle East, using American blood and treasure. The goal was noble, the plans flawed, to say the least. Truth is, President Bush's confrontation and President Obama's retreat did not make things better in that brutal region. Can Donald Trump do better? No one knows. Also on the security front, there will be a partial wall on the southern border, plus increased enforcement of immigration law. The wall is largely a symbol, the enforcement a message. The Trump administration will not accept open borders and violators of federal law. As with the Middle East, immigration policy must be enforced methodically, with explanations given to the American people about why things are happening. The open border sanctuary city folks have the media with them. So to counter that, the president has to explain how his policy benefits the entire country. He should also be humane in this area. Desperate, hardworking people do not deserve harsh punishment. Thus, Congress needs to get off its collective butt and pass updated immigration laws. The issue is so intense that at tonight's speech, some Democrats are bringing undocumented folks as guests, while President Trump has invited families whose loved ones were killed by illegal alien criminals. Now, after immigration, the economy, and security terrorism, the problems get smaller except for the debt. It will continue to rise well past $20 trillion. Can you believe it? Until health care and Social Security spending are redefined. Donald Trump knows he has to run up even more debt to accomplish his agenda. And cutting some programs is not going to balance things out. President hoping that prosperity will eventually bring in more tax money, but that's far down the road. Eventually, in order to bring down the massive debt, the government will have to restructure Social Security and Medicare payments for younger Americans. Cutoff date will be 40-45. But Mr. Trump wants no part of that. Finally, if Donald Trump is successful in juicing wages, the culture war stuff will begin to go his way. Socialists like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren will be crushed if capitalism makes a comeback, and so will many of the nanny state proponents. Americans are tired of political correctness and left-wing totalitarianism. Most of us have had it with extremism on both sides. Truth is that this country remains a citadel of opportunity and common sense views held by regular folks. But that profile has been smothered by big government zealots, ideological fanatics, and a media that promotes the PC culture. If President Trump's vision brings increased prosperity and security, he will trounce his enemies. If economic opportunity rises in America, all the class warfare BS will be harder to sell. But in order for that to happen, America needs to be unleashed. And that's the memo. Now